Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. If you're familiar with the channel, you know I got a lot of love for Jordan 1 mids. This pair in particular really caught my eye. I think it looks really clean. It reminds me of a Jordan 1 85, actually the neutral gray Jordan 1 85, and it's just got such a classic look to it. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these neutral gray mids or these stealth mids. So we got a standard Jordan 1 mid box, nothing extraordinary about that, just black with a gold Jumpman. I called these the neutral gray Jordan 1 mids because on GOAT and StockX, that's what they're referring to these as, and once you see them, it's pretty clear why they call them the neutral gray mids. The tag reads Air Jordan 1 mid. The colors are white and stealth. This is a size 10.5. I paid, I think, $130 plus tax on End. They didn't charge me any shipping, which is different because End is a retailer in the UK, but I didn't have to pay anything for shipping, so I was pretty happy with that. And here they are. Like I said in the beginning, it's pretty clear to see why they would call these the neutral gray Jordan 1 mids, although this gray color on here, it's not neutral gray. I think neutral gray tends to be lighter, and it almost has like a grayish brownish tint to it, whereas this is the stealth color that we have seen recently on the 12s. We saw it on the Jordan 1 High OGs, and it's just a nice dark rich gray color, but I'm a big fan of that. I actually really like this color blocking. It does just have that classic style, you know, from one of the original Jordan 1 High colorways. I also really like how this midsole is sail. I think the way they did that, just to kind of give it a little bit of like an antique look, I think that really takes these things to the next level. I bet you if you would throw sail laces in these, it would make them that much better too. But I'm really pleased with the style of these things. I think they'll just go with anything, you know? I wish that the material was better. However, having a lot of mids in the collection and that sort of thing, I knew not to expect premium materials on a Jordan 1 mid, and two, they were super affordable, so I'm happy with what I got for that price. But starting with the outsole, you can see that this tread pattern is the same as all Jordan 1s. It's in that stealth colorway, much like the Jordan 1 High stealth. It's got the pivot point in the front, Nike branding there at the midfoot, and everybody's familiar with that tread pattern. But like I mentioned in the intro, that stealth outsole comes up to meet a sail midsole, and we also get sail stitching, and I just really think that that is such a nice touch on this shoe. They really do have that retro style to them, and that sail midsole just really helps to hammer that home. Then coming up from that midsole, we just have a pretty synthetic feeling leather, and that's pretty much the entire upper, with the exception of this stealth color up by the collar and on the swoosh. But all this leather feels the same. It's pretty standard for what you get on Jordan 1 mids. You know, I mean, some people just dismiss mids right off the bat, but I think these look good enough that I don't mind having subpar materials on them. I would obviously prefer to have a real soft buttery leather, but instead what we have is just this synthetic, very smooth leather. The upside to that is just that these will be easier to keep clean, they'll be easier to wipe clean, and if they do get dirty, you can just use some of that white shoe polish and keep them looking new for a pretty long time. But I think these will actually age pretty well just because they already kind of have that retro aesthetic to them. But I think that looks nice, having that Wings logo in stealth gray on top of that white panel. Then for the laces, they just gave us some flat white laces, and like I said before, I really think throwing some sail laces in there would really look nice. They didn't give us any spares or anything, but I might dig through some of my extras and throw some sail laces in there. I think a lot of times my forums come with extra sail laces, so I'll see if I have a set that'll work in these. They might be a little long, but I'm sure I have a set somewhere that'll work. The tongue is your standard nylon tongue, and that's in a white color. Even the piping up along the top is white. The tag has a Jumpman and then some air branding in that stealth color. Our sock liner really has that retro look too. It's got a texture that really reminds me of the old school sock liners that we would get in Jordan 1s. But again, that's just in that stealth color. The insole is also stealth gray, and it's got a white Jumpman down on there. I think this is a dope looking shoe. I think they'll be real easy to wear. I think they'll go with just about anything. Materials aren't good. They're very synthetic, but I think this is a really clean looking shoe. I like the shape of it, and I just think it's very simple, very classy looking, and I really like these. I'm happy with this purchase. But anyhow, let me know what you all think about them, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.